Hello fellow travelers, Solo Sue here, and I was on Navigator of the Seas, and now that the video series is winding down, I wanted to comment on the key. If you're not familiar, it is Royal Caribbean's program where you can basically buy access to certain sort of early access things, and let me sort of give you an idea. So it includes things like priority access to boarding at the beginning of the cruise. You can drop off your carry-on bag with them before the cabins are ready, and they will deliver it to the cabin for you. There is a welcome lunch, and it features a menu from Chops Grille. You get, and this is one of the main reasons that I got it, you get their surf and stream, the VOOM Surf and Stream one device high-speed internet along with it. And that is usually pretty close to the price of the key when they offer it. And so that was a big decision maker for me when I decided whether I was going to try it or not. There's also, they give you certain private times for key members at some of the onboard activities, like the climbing wall and the surf simulator and that sort of thing. Oh, you have priority tender boarding and priority seating at the theater venues, whether it is, of course, it's going to depend on the ship you're on, whether it's Studio B, the Aqua Theater, 270, or the main theater, so that kind of thing. There's going to be separate areas where they have reserved seating for key members, and in some cases that can be important. And then when you are getting off the ship on debarkation day, then you get a special breakfast meal. So yeah, these are the main benefits of the key. And the ones that I used the priority access to get on board. This was in the port of, it wasn't Long Beach, where was it? So we had a very short line for the key to get on board, and they let us go before they let anyone else go. So we wound up being the first people through security and the first people on the ship. And so that was nice because then, you get on the ship earlier and you get a nice early boarding window and all that sort of thing. And so that was nice. I enjoyed that. When it came time to get on board, we had crew members saying, okay, you're with the key, so this is where you go for your initial check-in, and they will take your carry-on bag there, and they will tell you, the information on when lunch is and that sort of thing. So it was good to, to have the additional direction to sort of know where to go and be directed well that way. So that was helpful. Let's see, the lunch was good. It was, as I said, Chops Grille was the menu. I believe I had a steak, and it was quite nice. And it was sort of an unhurried first meal on the ship. Usually when you get on the ship, it's a little hectic. You're going to the buffet or something, and everybody's there, and everybody's trying to get a table, and everybody's trying to get food and everything. So it gets to be a little chaotic. This was a nice sit-down meal, and you didn't have that kind of chaos as the start of your cruise, which was a nice way of sort of easing into the vacation. The Wi-Fi package was a big thing for me. I always get their top tier. It's not always great, but I always get it as far as the speed goes for internet service, usually because I'm trying to upload videos and such. And so that is important to me. So that was something that I was going to buy anyway. And since I was, it was just a short amount of additional money for the additional benefits on top of the Wi-Fi that I was already going to buy. I also used the disembarkation breakfast. That was also nice. It was also, sit down in a dining room, special area just for the key people. And it was a nice unhurried breakfast on disembarkation day, which also can be chaotic. So that was good. The ones that I didn't use, I did not drop my bag off with them, my carry-on, because I had all my filming equipment in it and I was actively filming the ship. So I needed to keep that with me. So I did not use the private time at any of the activities because they weren't activities that I typically do. I'm not a rock climber. Surprise. Also not a surfer. So I didn't use that. I didn't use the theater seating. I couldn't find it. I know that there was supposed to be some cordoned off area that was for theater for the key, but I couldn't find it. And so I didn't do it. but there was no shortage of seating, so it wasn't a big deal. On ships that are more crowded, like the larger ones, where seating can be a premium, it would make more of a difference, I think. Oh, the last thing was I did not use the priority tendering, because when I got to the tenders, there was no lines. There was no need for it. There are definitely ports where that's not the case, or there are times of the day I may have just gotten there late enough that it wasn't a big deal. It depends. It may just be the first tenders, you know, that come off the ship. That might be when the priority is. I'm not sure. If you have had the key and used it for priority tendering, leave a comment below and let us know, you know, what it was and what port it was too, because that would be helpful to know. So, bottom line, would I buy it again? As I said, you know, with the bulk of the cost already a given for using Wi-Fi, if it was, you know, close in price, yeah, I probably would. The only caveat is it works best either if you're traveling alone, as I was, or, you know, my next cruise after this on Royal Caribbean was with a big group. And I was thinking, well, do I want to do it? And then I thought, you know, I would get it, but, you know, the others in my group wouldn't get it necessarily. And so we'd have some of us getting on early and some of us not. And, you know, you get separated and it can be kind of a hassle trying to find each other again on a big ship. And I think that the only way it would work well for that would be if everybody, at least in the cabin, got it, if not everybody in your group got it. Because otherwise you're going to keep getting separated every time you have the key and they don't, and you get some benefit that they don't. So that's something to think about. The cost, you know, differential between whether you would get the Wi-Fi normally that makes up the bulk of the cost or not is also something to think about. If you don't buy the Wi-Fi, then I'm not sure it's really worth it. Otherwise, I think I would probably get it again if it was, you know, just me traveling by myself and it was pretty close to what I would pay for the Wi-Fi anyway. Okay, I hope that helps. And let me know if you've done the key before and if you would do it again. Solo Sue signing off.